Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
A championship on the line here at Hofstra between the St. Mary's Gales and the St. Anthony's Friars. St. Anthony's 19-6 on the season. St. Mary's 22-4 and undefeated in conference play. You're watching the CHSAA title game here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. I'm Gavin Shaw alongside my partner, longtime John Adams coach, Jim Pittman. And Jim, this promises to be a good one. Everything on the line. Winner moves on to the AA championship game. And of course, this broadcast is brought to you by Catholic Health. Loser moves on to the A bracket. And St. Mary's the heavy favorite coming into this one.
Well, this will be the third time they met. First time they played at St. Mary's on a smaller court. They dominated the game against St. Anthony's. Much closer game out in Huntington at St. Anthony's. It's tough to beat a team 3 times, so let's see if St. Mary's can do that.
And for the Friars to have much of a chance in this one, you have to look towards Shania Clark to have a big game. The sophomore forward stands at 6 feet tall. She's the team's leading scorer at 11 points per game. Great shot blocker, can handle the basketball. And if St. Mary's has a weakness this season, Jim, it's their lack of height.
Yeah, Shania can really get to the rim. A tough player, and she's obviously going to be major importance if St. Anthony's going to come up with the upset.
And then on the other side of things for the St. Mary's Gales, man, it was hard to pick because there's 2 of them, but we hate to do it, but we had to pick our favorite Barbeau twin, and we went with Taryn Barbeau, the senior, standing at 5'10", a monster season, 21 points per game, 10 boards, 4 assists, 5 steals and outing, already committed to the College of Charleston, and she has been the best player, right there with Megan Anderson in the Catholic League this season.
Well, they were out in Arizona and playing the Tournament of Champions. She had a 28-point game. She's just a terrific player. Can get to the rim, can make some jump shots. Along with her sister, they make a nice 1-2 punch.
Her twin sister, of course, Taylor Barbeau. And Taryn will note that she is a minute older, nicknamed the Tornado Twins, and that is how St. Mary's likes to play. They apply a whole lot of pressure on you, and this St. Anthony's starting lineup going to have to slow the basketball down to control it as we get a look at Shania Clark, Lexi Midas, Emma Toner, Ayana Morel, and Amanda Pacey. We already highlighted Shania Clark, Jim, but who else in this St. Anthony starting 5 stands out to you?
Well, I like Ayana Morel's game. She can step out, make a jump shot, gets to the rim. And Emma Toner had a great game on Sunday in the victory in the semifinals. Really stepped up and made some key free throws down the stretch.
Toner scoring 9 points in the 4th quarter of that semifinal upset over Our Lady of Mercy, who is hoping to get another shot at St. Anthony's if the Friars fall in this game. To do that, we'll see what the Gales starting 5 has in store. And we already told you all about the Barbeau twins, but this is a full team. It's not just 2 players, Jim.
Yeah, Kayla Solomon can step out, knock down a 3. Tara Murphy's a good shooter. She's going to be going to Merrimack. And Kayla Williams can also play.
Kayla Williams, man, a heck of a talent. 5'11", their biggest, strongest kid. She's going to be the one tasked with battling with Shania Clark, and she's giving up an inch in that matchup, but maybe has a little bit more strength, as these two teams played twice in the regular season. The first one completely dominant in favor of St. Mary's. It was a 60-33 victory, and talking to St. Anthony's head coach this week, Hugh Flaherty, he was saying, look, they have a small court, and they just overwhelmed us with their pressure. And he felt like they did a much better job the second time around when the two teams matched up.
Yeah, Hugh and I spoke last night. He likes the fact they're playing on a 90-foot court, nice spacing. You're going to see a couple different press breakers that he's going to use against the Gales.
And for St. Mary's, I mean, they'll tell you the other direction. Hey, the second time we matched up, we didn't have two of our three key seniors, with Taylor Barbeau and Tara Murray both injured for that game. And if you're watching right now, it's worth reminding you that you can never miss a Varsity Media Sportscast again if you so choose. All you have to do is subscribe on youtube.com/Varsity Media. Exit out of the full screen. Click that big red subscription button right under the viewing screen. And remember to follow us on all forms of social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Varsity Media on all those platforms. So we'll step aside for just a sec. When we come back, we'll have our keys to the game here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Thank you for joining us back here at Hofstra. As we're about to get underway, Jim, what do you see as our keys to the game in this one?
The first 5 minutes are going to be very important. St. Anthony's comes here as a heavy underdog. How do they handle the pressure right off the back that St. Mary's is going to throw at them? St. Huey wants to have a lot of ball control, make good decisions with the ball. What he says, we got to trust our teammates. Okay, you're going to see a lot of cutting in their offense, and defensively, they're going to have to dominate the backcourt.
The emphasis for St. Anthony is just to slow things down, and they do not want to get into a track meet with the Gales.
And they're going to pick their spots when they're going to run. St. Mary's going to go full throttle, but St. Anthony's going to pick their spots when they're going to look to get transition baskets.
And in your coaching career, what do you emphasize when you go up against a team that's maybe a little bit more athletic and you know your team has to prioritize controlling the pace and taking care of the basketball?
Well, first of all, defensively, you got to sprint back and stop the basketball. If you can do that, make them reverse the ball, make it a half-court game, be much more successful. On offense, don't rush yourself. You don't want to get into a track meet. It's about decision-making.
And it's a younger St. Anthony's team, as we noted, 3 sophomores, 2 juniors in those starting lineups presented to you by Catholic Health. So the Friars have a long ways to go in terms of experience, but Huey Flaherty saying you could notice throughout the regular season that his girls kind of grew up in front of his eyes in terms of their on-court maturity.
Yeah, and I go back to that word trust. The more they trust each other, the better they play together.
All right, we'll step aside for the national anthem and return in just a second.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at Hofstra. And Jim, what impressed you the most about this St. Mary's team? I mean, you got your initial look at them over the weekend as they have just run through the Catholic League this year. I mean, it's with so much college talent, you rarely see one team dominate in the way St. Mary's did this season.
The way they're able to turn defense into offense. I mean, the Barbeaus are twin sisters, and they play like it on the court. They share the ball so well together, and their up-tempo is tremendous. St. Anthony's going to have to really slow this team down.
The Barbeau sisters both committed to the University of Charleston to continue their careers at the Division I level. St. Mary's ranked third in New York State in Class AA, behind only Lehigh and South Shore. South Shore, a team that they lost to for one of their 4 losses on the season so far this year. Also dropped 3 games in that Nike Tournament of Champions, 2 of them at the buzzer. So this is a heck of a group here at St. Mary's, not just competitive, obviously, in the Catholic League, but at the national level. And there's something to be said for that, right, Jim? I mean, challenging yourself early in a season, and then games like this don't feel that overwhelming.
Well, you want to play against great competition to make yourself better. And you play a game like this, you've already played against good teams. It should be just like another day to play, even though there's a lot of things riding on this game. The one thing I wanted to bring out, I met the Barbeau's mom.
Oh, yeah. And
she's real happy that they're going to College of Charleston because they're in the Colonial League, just like Hofstra is, just like Stony Brook is. So as a mom, she'll get to see her daughters play, not only taking the trip down to Charleston, but in Long Island as well.
Yeah, perfect combination, right? You get away from home, but you come back frequently. So it's St. Anthony's in the black and gold. It's the Gales in the white and the navy blue, and we are underway on the Varsity Media Sports Network. An immediate block by Taryn Barbeau, meeting Ayanna Morel at the summit, and the Gales come out with some speed, and the transition layup off the mark for Kayla Williams. Putback attempt no good, batted around, and a second straight offensive rebound for St. Mary's. Aggressive defense that time from Shania Clark picking up her first foul. Good time to tell you about our officials on the game. Kaz DeLillo, Ralph Cornolis, and Reggie Fowler. So Jim, immediately the pace for the Gales looming large, and their athleticism around the bucket, right? Not a lot of size, but you saw multiple offensive rebounds because of speed more than anything else.
Very tenacious on the backboard, again, turning defense into offense.
Kayla Solomon, the freshman, goes 2 for 2 at the line. Pretty impressive for a freshman to crack this starting lineup.
It's like I have a freshman averaging 19 points a game.
Taryn Barbeau, and it's knocked out of bounds by Emma Toner. Solomon, an elite shooter with her head coach, Kevin White, saying she's in range just about the second she crosses half court. Barbeau leaves it off. Double pump finish for Taylor Barbeau. That was athletic.
And here comes the press right away by St. Mary's. They're in a 1-3-1, which we didn't see, by the way, Sunday. A little adjustment by Coach White.
Both sides knowing there are going to be wrinkles from the other one. To your point, Jim, very hard to beat a team twice, especially if you try to play exactly the same way all 3 times.
Shot clock running down, Gavin.
2 seconds. Having to fire is Toner, who can't hit it. Good-looking shot for Toner, just didn't go down. Taylor Barbeau head up on the setup, and the triple deposited for Tara Murray. And an early timeout, just over 92 seconds into this ball game, taken by Hugh Flaherty.
Transition game, defense into offense. Here the Gales pushing the ball up. Barbeau into the corner. Murray spots up. Future Merrimack Warrior buries the 3.
Murray, a fantastic shooter all season long. Very effective, raining fire from distance. But, man, it must be great to be a shooter on this team. I mean, you saw that pass from Taylor Barbeau, who puts up just under 7 assists per game. It feels like everyone has their head up, right? Like, you rarely get that combination as a coach. All that athleticism and speed, but a team that's unselfish and has a great collective IQ.
Well, we mentioned trust. St. Anthony's having to trust their players. Obviously, St. Mary's trusts their players. Again, they come out with their 1-3-1 press. No problem for Anthony's.
And this time Clark shows off some nice patience, but then can't get the layup to go. Pacey will try. And it's rebounded by Lexi Mitas.
Got a kick ball, Gavin.
And what are you seeing from the St. Anthony's offense so far?
They look a little nervous. They had to make that layup, which they blew on the last possession. They're going to be patient, but they got to get something for their results. Now if Clue's going to press, use a 2-1-2 pressure against St. Mary's. Try to slow them down.
Taylor Barbeau sends it right to the heart of the defense to her sister Taryn. Unselfish leave off from Taryn. Double pump finish. Not there for Kayla Williams. And possession will stay with the Gales. Quick inbound to Taylor Barbeau, who cans the 3. Taryn Barbeau from distance.
Looking opposite on the out-of-bounds play. Barbeau wide open in the opposite corner.
And St. Anthony's nearly turning it over in the backcourt. Clark coming back to get the basketball, missed the layup. Her second try of the game will earn her a trip to the foul line as the Friars still look for their first points, down by 10.
The only way you get a team to stop pressing you is by scoring and converting. St. Anthony's come up empty on 3 possessions against the press. Now Clark will try to put the Friars on the board.
Like the aggressiveness from Shania Clark, right? Just a sophomore, but you said as a team, and obviously Clark maybe a little overcharged up, missing that layup. I mean, they look a little nervous. I don't know if that applies to Clark. I mean, she seems ready to go. And she has St. Anthony's on the board now.
Friars stay in their pressure. Two, 3 half-court zone for St. Anthony's.
Murray will try for her second 3 and have it.
Play a zone, you got to get down on the shooter, especially Murray.
High arcing pass up to Clark. Clark nearly dispossessed. And the defensive foul taken by, I believe it was Kayla Williams that time.
A little too aggressive on the trap. Williams' first foul.
I think that might have been Williams' second, because I think it was Clark bouncing into her the first time around. Pacey gets it inside. Good passing from the Friars, and Shania Clark has all 3 points for St. Anthony's.
Nice high-low action. Morrell looking for Clark.
St. Anthony's in a zone look defensively, 3-2. Murray trying to break that zone. Can't find her third three. The freshman, Solomon, collects her own miss. Ball zipped in, and a layup goes down for Taryn Barbeau.
Taylor Barbeau has great vision. Excellent pass to her sister for the layup.
And the spacing just not there for St. Anthony's.
Gotta be more patient, Gavin.
They keep going for that home run pass, right? Murray, not this time. Tie up, and emerging from the pack is Taylor Barbeau. Cross court, Solomon hunting the three. Can't find it. That's a tough rebound in traffic for Ayanna Morrell. Clark has it poked away by Murray. Clark already her sixth three-point attempt. That one well short. She gets him up. Morrell, unselfish, great find, and a good job running the floor from Emma Toner.
So he said they're going to pick their spots. That time to get out on a 2-1 run. 15-5 they trail.
Ball zipped around into the corner. Murray. Feels like just about every shot for St. Mary's has been a Murray three.
And the same spot, same corner. It's cooled off a little bit, though.
Went started 2 for 3, has missed 4 in a row since. Ball flying around for the Friars, but overcooking the tray that time was Morrell.
Now you got to sprint back and stop the ball at your St. Anthony's.
A jab and a three goes down for Solomon. And the freshman baits the second time out of this ball game from Hugh Flaherty. We'll step aside on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
All right, Jim, I'm going to let you put on your coaching hat here. You're leading the St. Anthony's huddle right now. What are you telling to your girls down 18-5?
Slow down in your press breaker. Look to reverse the ball. Don't go for the home run pass, as you mentioned. Be more patient and close out on the St. Mary's shooters.
That's one of the great challenges at the high school level, right? I mean, kids wanting to make up 10 points with one shot or one pass. One dribble, and leaving it short that time is Toner. I'm sure that shot a little bit earlier in the clock than Hugh Flaherty wanted. Dribble drive, cross-court swing, pinged around, and now batted the other way. Toner on the run to the rim, can't finish. Barbeau head on a swivel to her sister, but Taryn can't put it in. This game certainly being played at St. Mary's preferred pace. Friar's stated goal was to slow things down. Certainly has not happened through 6.5 minutes of action, and that will not help. As Amanda Pacey short on the three, and Kate Licciardi will check into the game for the first time alongside Nalia Green.
Kate Licciardi made 2 big threes on Sunday. We had the 6 points, both of them on the threes. Coach Flaherty calls her a playmaker, and they certainly can use her now as they're down 13.
Yeah, and noting that she's essentially another coach on the floor, and I think that might be, I mean, as much as the playmaking, they need someone to control this pace and enact Coach Flaherty's game plan of slowing the game down. Solomon cutting in through the Black Sea for two. Man, what an impressive start for the freshman, Jim. I mean, clearly not overwhelmed by this stage. 7 early points for Kayla Solomon.
Well, they return their whole team. They're going to be losing a lot in graduation, but the young players in Gales will certainly have a lot of ability, Solomon being the best.
Licciardi right into the game, an offensive rebounded 2 points right off the bat. Aaron Barbeau cut off by the double team. Right to Taylor. Contested well by Green. And that's more what you're looking for out of St. Anthony's defensively.
Good rotation on the help.
And that'll do it for quarter number 1. The Gales flying up and down the court. A 20-7 lead after 8 minutes on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
A look at the Chaminade boys team up next here at Hofstra, led by the sharp shooting of David DeBuscher. They are the number 1 team on the boys' side this season, and they'll deal with the St. Anthony's team intent on beating them in their third matchup. And Shania Clark getting off to a little bit of a slow start, her impact player, 3 points, but Jim, you think there's more she can be doing?
Well, what I saw her on Sunday do was go to the basket. She's pulling up and settling when she should really just power the ball up to the basket.
And to your point, I mean, right, you got the one set of free throws by attacking the rim hard. Dribble drive, righty layup that time.
Sky Priester can really get to the rim. Another one of Coach White's young talented players.
And a response on the other end of things. Nalia Green with the and one.
Stop the press by scoring. 2-on-1 break. Green with a finish.
It's a great catch off of that's an ambitious pass by Ayana Morel, right? You see a defender down there, 2 more closing in, but she was able to fit it in to the gap as Green can't complete the 3-point play. But great defending. Licciardi making an immediate impact, leaving it off, but unable to put it home is Emma Toner. And a foul battling for the rebound going against Emma Toner.
Yeah, frustration foul by Toner. She missed the layup. Great steal by Licciardi. Toner couldn't finish, then commanded the foul. Man-to-man defense by St. Anthony's.
Switching out of that 3-2 zone we saw earlier from them. Murray, a winding drive, attempting to bait the foul. The refs don't bite. Spinning to the rim and finishing is Amanda Pacey. Pacey, a Duke lacrosse commit. So you know she's a heck of an athlete.
Coach Flaherty calls her an energizer, like Spider-Man.
Sticky hands, right? Always finding a way to come up with the basketball is Amanda Pacey. Barbeau using the screen from Priester. Lining up the triple is Taryn Barbeau. Can't find it. Coach Flaherty calls out the set. St. Anthony's has cut the lead down to 11, looking to get it back to single digits since the first couple of minutes, for the first time, since the first couple of minutes of this game.
So pass and cut offense. But to reverse the ball.
Toner bullies her way inside, stripped of the basketball. It will stay with St. Anthony's, but just 1 second left on the shot clock. And Shania Clark will return to the ball game and grab Malia Green, who did really good work in her 2-3 minutes on the court.
Going to be a catch and shoot right here for the Friars.
And it's not even going to be a catch as it's batted out by Tara Murray.
You know, if you're St. Anthony's, you want to try to win the quarter. You're not going to make up 11 points quickly. Take one possession at a time and do it on the defensive end.
Solomon lines it up a couple feet behind the arc. It's Nylon on the shot. Solomon, the first player in the ball game into double figures. Trying to answer her, unable to do so is Pacey, but having her back is Toner. Morrell and Clark, a third try, no good. Pacey also misses. A fifth attempt not to be had as the Gales said enough of that. Streaking the other way, Taryn Barbeau leaving it up. And Sky Priester will have 2 free throws.
The advantage is in the post, but the Friars have to finish.
And what do you think the issue there? I mean, at least to me, it seems like they're rushing a little bit.
They seem nervous, frankly. Take your time. How about a jump stop? Maybe a ball fake. Get a foul shot as a result. Try to get the Gales in foul trouble. Players don't do that enough, Gavin. They got to jump stop, get ball fakes, get the defender up, and you get rewarded with free throws.
Sky Priester, just a sophomore, heck of an athlete. Very good defensively for this St. Mary's team.
Pounding them right now.
Good composure from Pacey. Slip pass inside. Clark can't quite handle the attempt from Morrell. And possession will go back to the Gales.
I think Morrell needs to look to go to the basket herself. Being a little too unselfish.
To your point on composure, though, I mean, just such an experience difference between these two teams. You look at the Gales and particularly the Barbeau sisters. I mean, they were playing in this game 4 years ago as freshmen all the way back in 2020. In fact, Taryn Barbeau hit the game-winning shot as Taylor Barbeau collects her own miss. Inside, Solomon. That was the patience you were talking about, Jim.
Excellent cut. In St. Anthony's, you got to bump the cutter because St. Mary's cuts hard on a dime, and they find each other for layups.
Timeout for you, Flaherty. The third of the game taken by St. Anthony's as we'll step aside. The Gales in control here at Hofstra.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
Look at the St. Mary's Gales, and what's really stood out to me so far, Jim, they're passing and cutting, and at least so far, St. Anthony's has been unable to interrupt that.
Well, one thing you got to do if you're playing man-to-man defense, get in the help side defense and bump the cutter. If you don't bump the cutter, you're going to have a difficult time defending.
Morrell leaves the ball off for Pacey. Pacey right to the basket for her first bucket.
Good play out of a timeout by Coach Flaherty.
Or excuse me, second field goal of the game by Amanda Pacey. And double dribbling that time was Murray. Still just getting a chance to watch her in person for the first time. I mean, the way Taylor Barbeau just directs everyone out on the floor. I mean, you sometimes hear commentators refer to point guards as orchestrators. That phrase is very apropos for Taylor Barbeau.
Robin Harmon over at College of Charleston's getting 2 nice players. They're going to have a nice college career for the Cougars.
Ayana Morrell putting on the moves, but traveling. And that's, to your point, where that jump stop would have come into play.
Yes. You can see the frustration after she's called for the turnover. Got to be more aggressive. Go to the basket, get fouled, get to the rim. Playing a little passively on the perimeter.
Feels like a lot of ball movement for St. Anthony's, but they're not really getting anywhere off of it. The polar opposite of what we see from St. Mary's, and there's a great bit of aggressiveness from Taryn Barbeau to earn 2 free throws.
Goes hard to the basket.
Taryn Barbeau, we mentioned, a monster statistical season, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals a game. But according to her head coach, Kevin White, those numbers could be far greater. I mean, often subbed out at the end of the first quarter, at the end of halves, with St. Mary's just well in control of games. Playing against national competition, to your point earlier, Jim, averaged 28 points in the Nike Tournament of Champions against state champs from all around the country.
Played out in Arizona.
Little runner, overcooked that time from Midas, and cleaned up by Shania Clark. Exactly what you were looking for from her, Jim.
But you got to get back.
Hail Mary pass the other way, and it's paid off by Murray. And that's where the St. Mary's teams gets you, right? You finally score on them. They're like, all right, we're just going to lob it down the court and answer you immediately. So Murray up to 8, and the Gales on the run again. Triple for Priester. And possession will stick with the Gales.
See, one of the skills that St. Mary's have, they can all handle the basketball. The both sisters, obviously, but the rest of them can handle. Like Priester can put the ball on the floor, Murray can put the ball on the floor to create a shot. So it makes the transition game even more effective.
Nylea Green and Kate Licciardi back into the ball game for St. Anthony's.
Clear out for Solomon.
Going to work, already has 10 points. Barbeau got the bat out. Priester, a serpentine drive, and will shoot 2 for her efforts.
If you're an underdog, you can't give up second shots. Gales missed a shot. Taylor Barbeau, smart enough to tap it back out. New possession for the Gales. Now they're rewarded with free throws.
And man, her IQ really stands out. I mean, we talked a little bit about the ESP between the two sisters, but really it's the Barbeau sisters passing to everyone on this team. I mean, a lot of times you'll just see a player kind of haphazardly tap a ball out, right? She's tapping it out to a person.
Yes. Gales now in a 2-3 zone. A 1-3 action by St. Anthony's offensively. Pass and cut through.
Shot clock dwindling. Pacey had the ball poked away. Taylor Barbeau, tic-tac-toe passing, back to Solomon, can't pay it off. Strong hands from Taryn Barbeau, a tie-up. And it comes down to the possession arrow. Will be St. Anthony's ball.
Now back to Taylor Barbeau. One of the things I like about her game, she can handle with either hand. The left hand is just as effective as the right hand. She also knows how to create space. She uses a studded dribble. Complete guard.
Toner Licciardi, little bit short. The 3 was right on line. Toner had it swatted away by Barbeau. Toner, extra effort for her second bucket.
Great job staying with it. Emma Toner averaging close to 10 points a game.
Reset up top, Taylor Barbeau. Solomon, quick trigger on the tray. Solomon hot early, but now maybe shooting a little bit too fast for Kevin White's liking. So he certainly gives his guards a green light. And a walk
You
from
know,
Emma Toner.
Kevin White's been around for a long time coaching, played at Fordham University. He knows he's got a talented team. If you overcoach, you're not going to make it a good team. Let your players play, give them some direction, but let them play.
Especially when the IQ of your two senior leaders is as high as it is with the Barbeau twins.
Absolutely.
Coaches on the floor. Speaking of which, spin and a score for Taryn Barbeau.
Beautiful feed by Tara Murray on that high-low play from the elbow.
Licciardi directing traffic. And St. Mary's now doubling up St. Anthony's 34-17. So we hit the final 20 seconds of the first half. An offensive foul called against Amanda Pacey, her first.
Are they going to stop here be St. Anthony's? Maybe get into halftime, try to get a little momentum back. Gales are going to hold for one.
Ball in the hands of Taylor Barbeau, College of Charleston commit. Licciardi popping out to take Solomon. Solomon, tough shot at the horn, doesn't drop. So that's how the first half ends. A 17-point lead for the St. Mary's Gales in the CHSAA championship game here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media. And there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20% have quit. Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy. Put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back to action here at Hofstra. Second half about to get underway here on the Varsity Media Sports Network as you're watching the CHSAA Finals presented by Catholic Health. Gavin Shaw alongside Jim Pittman. And Jim, coming out of halftime, St. Anthony's, they're not used to trailing by 17 points at the half. What do they have to do to get back into this ball game?
They got to get stops defensively. They got to do a better job in transition and make this one stop at a time. Slow the game down. You're not going to make up 17 points in 8 minutes, but you got 16 minutes to do it. So take your time. If you get this to under 10 going into the fourth quarter, you got a shot.
And then for the Gales, I mean, just more of the same?
Yeah, they just keep sharing the ball, doing a good job. I mean, they've been out-rebounded a little bit inside, but on St. Anthony's, unfortunately, they haven't been able to finish inside. I mean, Taylor Barbeau's only got 2 points, but she certainly dominates the game with the ball with such great vision. Her sister's got 8 points. Murray's got 8 on 2 threes. Priestess come off the bench here to spark with 4 points. And the freshman Solomon, lights out, 12 points, 2 threes.
Yeah, what stands out to you about her game is, I mean, man, she has really impressed me in that first half.
Confidence. Doesn't play like a ninth grader. She knows her spots. She knows how to create off the dribble. And she shoots the ball with confidence. And to be a good shooter, you have to be confident. If you hesitate, you're not going to be a good shooter. It's obviously she spent a lot of time in the gym working on that.
And you see, that's the play. Great job from our producer, Chris Sweeney, there. That really stood out to me in the first half, because that's not just skill, right? That is patience and composure beyond your years. I mean, we were just talking about it with St. Anthony's, right? Super young team, 3 sophomores, 2 juniors in their starting lineup. But they almost don't have an excuse when Kayla Solomon's out there as a freshman looking like a fourth-year player.
A lot of poise for a ninth grader.
And remember to subscribe on youtube.com/varsity media if you're already watching. All you have to do is hit the red button below your screen and follow us on all forms of social media, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, Facebook. A look at Kevin White sweetening up the officials there. White in his 7th season leading the Gales. Before that, the head coach at Mary Lewis Academy it's kind of an interesting situation, because when he resigned at Mary Lewis, they actually had 4 of their players transfer over to St. Mary's, and it was the year before he got here, and they just happened to win the Catholic A title that season. They all graduated. Kevin White came in and kind of had to build a program from the ground up, but it helped a whole lot that he got Kadasha Berry, who transferred in from Long Beach, went on to be a top 50 recruit in the country, now an excellent player over at St. John's, and she kind of got the ball rolling, and the Barbeau sisters have taken that momentum and taken this program into a whole new place.
You know, they're defending state champions, Catholic champions. There was no federation last year. They hope to add that notch onto their banner.
Spinning and then a kick out. Long triple from Solomon, cashed in. That was from NBA range for Kayla Solomon.
Yeah, but the ball went inside. She kicked it out for an open Solomon. Went inside, then out. Good offense by the Gales.
Clark trying to find a gap. Nothing doing. Barbeau, head on a swivel. Solomon running the floor. Murray, good patience. And now the Gales will reset. When it's not there, they don't force it.
Exactly. Kayla Williams with a rebound. Could have went right back up, but threw it back out.
Taryn Barbeau, good thought, but Shania Clark anticipated the pass well.
Clark's got to do more now. Fronting the cutter. Williams unable to get the pass.
It worked so well because of the players, but, man, it's a beautiful offense that Kevin White's designed with all the cutting. You see yet another example as the elongated roll goes down for Tara Murray.
Backdoor cut on the left elbow, stacked on the right, facing the ball. Murray for the layup.
Gales in that 2-3 zone. Pacey to the rim. Too strong. Barbeau, good work to get Toner on her hip, but now pulling it back out. Ball swung inside. Barbeau to Barbeau. But Taryn steps out of bounds. Talking to Kevin White this week, he said it's borderline creepy how Taylor and Taryn find each other. A certain I used the term ESP, and he said, seriously, I think it might be a real thing with those two.
It's amazing.
Just an innate sense of where the other one is at all time. 3-ball goes in and out for Pacey. Head on a swivel for Taylor Barbeau, and paying it off on the other end is the freshman Kayla Solomon, up to 17 points.
She leaks out at the top of the 2-3 zone. Easy layup on the break.
Clark spinning lefty hook, got it to bank in. That's a tough shot from Shania Clark. pretty interesting. I was asking Kevin White who the best overall athlete is on his team, and he said, you would think it's one of the Barbeau sisters. It's not. It's Kayla Solomon. Fastest with the basketball, most athletic, probably their best shooter, all on a team with 3 Division I seniors.
Oh, she's a Division I player eventually, but right now she's just a freshman.
Missing the easy one that time is Kayla Williams, but doing good work to get the basketball back.
Yeah, Kayla Williams wants to be an attorney one day. A couple of D3 schools involved with her.
Yeah, still going to take all of her visits. Has 5 or 6 of them if she wants to use them, and Kevin White's saying she's intent on getting through that process after the season. A lot of times you see players saying, I want to commit before my senior year. I want to focus on the season.
Well, that's a sign of a team with a goal to win the whole thing and be focused on what they got in front of them.
Clark got away with a little elbow and gets the layup to go. Shadai Clark coming to life in the second half.
Need to do more of that. A strong player going to the basket.
Clark just a sophomore, and remember, St. Anthony's also has Amelia Moore. That's a gorgeous take. A little start-stop contorting drive that time for Taylor Barbeau and a timeout taken. I'll tell you who else St. Anthony's has on the other side of things here on the Varsity Media Sports Network as we take a look one more time from that drive from Taylor Barbeau. It was so subtle, but you see that in and out move, and then got away with a little elbow to keep Clark away from blocking that shot.
Protecting the ball well, using the screen correctly, and really accelerating with the dribble. The number one skill she has is her handle. She creates because of her handle.
And I was going to note, but before I do that, if you want to bring your game to life, check out our Varsity Media Sportscast. They feature announcers like Jim and I, instant replay, multiple camera angles, and graphics. It's great for rivalry games, senior days, general promotion of your team. Contact us to book a sportscast at 516-403-2050 or visit varsitymedia.net. I was going to say that the St. Anthony's team, not only do they have Shania Clark, they also have Amelia Moore, who's out after getting ankle surgery, just never fully healed for her this season. But you talk to Hugh Flaherty, I mean, he seems to think Amelia Moore has as high of a ceiling or higher than anyone else on this roster. Plenty of space for Toner, who's just a sophomore, very talented in her own right. And possession will stay with the Friars. But, man, you think about next year, Moore and Clark playing together down low. That's going to be a problem for the rest of the conference.
Mary's been in the 2-3 zone throughout most of the game.
And ball stolen away by Barbeau. Up to Taylor. Unselfish to Williams. Good patience.
The other thing about her pass is right where the person has to catch the ball. Puts it right on her hands.
That was a good pass and a good attempt from Midas. Outlet ahead of the pack. It's Solomon showing off that speed.
We said transition defense was a necessity for St. Anthony's. Mary just flying out of that 2-3 zone in transition offense.
High post, it's Morrell. And stepping out of bounds that time was Pacey, or rather Midas. So a couple substitutions. Pacey will take a seat. Clark will take a seat. Licciardi and Green will come into the game. As Hugh Flaherty just searching for any combination of players that could give St. Anthony a reprieve from this unrelenting St. Mary's run. It started at the opening tip, and there hasn't really been a point where the Friars have fully felt like they're back in this game, right? It was 10-0 from the get-go, and it's only gotten worse from there.
And they set the tone right off the bat. I see why he runs a 2-3 zone, Kevin White, because it just adds to the transition.
Can you explain that?
Well, the ball goes up, the guards are able to step out and get on the break, 2-on-1. They're already out 15 feet from the rim, so it makes it easier to run down the court.
That's a great point.
And if you dominate the backboard, you're able to do that.
Triple put in by Ayana Morel. They've been few and far between on the day for St. Anthony's.
Morel was very impressive on Sunday in the semifinals. Big shot there, trying to get him back in the game.
Deanna Thompson, as you noted, in for the first time for St. Mary's. Murray, that's a tricky shot. Off balance, gets it to go in with the left hand off the glass.
Now, Coach White knows she's got a good jump shot, but he really admires how she can put it on the floor and finish. Demonstrated it right there.
Murray.
Future Merrimack Warrior.
Again, she's making up for lost time, right? Missed the second matchup between the two teams. 12 points today. Quick trigger that time, and Midas can't get it to go. Barbeau, Solomon takes the contact, puts it in. The freshman over 20 points.
Once again, Solomon leaking out of the break.
But, man, there's just no ego for either Barbeau sister, right? I mean, sometimes stars at the high school level, I mean, you know this better than I do, Jim. They like to dribble the basketball, like to feel the ball. They're getting it and outletting it instantaneously.
You know, good players enjoy a good pass more than a good dribble.
Licciardi cans the triple.
Knocked out a couple of them on Sunday. That's her second this afternoon.
Barbeau probably got away with an offensive foul that time. The officials say Toner fell on her own. Barbeau hunting out the three. Murray. Bang!
Once again, second shots. St. Mary's, they get a rebound. They find an open shooter. Passed by Tiana Thompson. Just, again, another freshman. Raised number 30 for the Gales.
I love that from Murray, right? Because it's great shooting. It's not just about accuracy. It's about hunting shots. Murray, even a couple feet behind the arc. She knows it's her job to shoot that basketball. The same can be said for Emma Toner.
Softball looks smooth on that one. She made 22 threes in the regular season, Emma Toner.
And St. Anthony's continuing struggling defensively, Jim, but a little bit of life offensively these last few possessions. This is their best stretch all night.
Yes, but you got to get stops to get back in the game.
Taryn Barbeau leaves it off and earns another try. Rebound batted around and will be St. Anthony's ball. There's a stop with 3 seconds to go in the third quarter. Substitutions on both sides.
Taryn Barbeau made a beautiful pass to Kayla Williams who couldn't finish.
So just 3 seconds on the clock. Pass sent in, and the shot will not get off in time for Toner. So that'll do it for the third quarter. 8 more minutes to go. The result all but decided. The Gales looking to ride into the AA championship game.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Kevin White giving instruction to his team. Not a lot to be said when you're up by 25, but you know, championship game, 8 minutes left. Crazy things happen, Jim. What are your go-tos in terms of how to protect the lead?
Good decisions, the ball, which they've been doing throughout the game anyway. Concentrate on the 2-3 zone, limit Anthony's to one shot, which again, they've been doing it throughout. So, again, one thing I like about St. Mary's, and you've mentioned this, they play together so well, they play within themselves. They're all so talented, but it doesn't look like you got an ego problem on the court. There's like 5 all-stars on the team who all get along.
And that is incredibly rare at any level of basketball, much less the high school level.
Well, success will bring that to you.
Triple airmail that time. That was Lexi Azzarelli into the game for the first time for St. Anthony's. As Hugh Flaherty is going deep into his bench looking for answers, particularly on the defensive end of the floor, where it's been a struggle all evening. Solomon looking to add to that struggle. Another three goes down.
Incredible the range she has. Again, NBA range.
As a freshman.
As a freshman. Some tells me Steph Curry's her favorite player.
Yeah. Certainly some similarities there.
I know Steph had that range in 9th grade.
Yeah, you know. or relatively that speed down the court. It's a lofty comparison, but she is dominating this game. And Emma Toner has found her jump shot. 3 3-pointers in the last 6 minutes now for Emma Toner. They're few and far between, but you're certainly seeing flashes of what this St. Anthony's team could be next year, but they cannot leave Kayla Solomon alone. Hugh Flaherty is going to say just that.
But they ran a play where they cut off the high post. St. Anthony's rotated down, but they forgot Solomon. And like you said, she's the last person you want to leave open. Here it is. Wide open. Nothing but net.
It almost feels like a situation, right, where as a coach you got to be telling your team, all right, no matter what else happens, we are staying attached to Kayla Solomon with the way she's shooting the 3-ball.
You got to deny her the ball as much as you can.
And here's a look at the previous tray.
There's the pick and roll, but here's the back dribble that creates so much space. Has professional range, stays with the shot, and watches it go in.
And Jim, to me, the other thing that really stands out with her is her footwork, right? I mean, you could really see it. I mean, great job by our production team in slow-mo that time, just how she got her feet set and how she created separation.
Yeah, with the left hand and shot it with the right. Outstanding. You know, as a coach, Gavin, this is a pleasure to watch how well these ladies perform. They're ready to execute.
It's a great combination, right? Because the individual skill level on both sides is so high, but also the cohesion and the team play. St. Mary's the number 3 team in the state of New York for very good reasons. As you see the verticality for Solomon as well. She's not just a shooter. You just get a feeling watching Kayla Solomon 2-3 years down the road, she's going to be one of the most coveted recruits in New York State.
Without a doubt.
Man, you got to imagine how happy Kevin White is, right? He loses the Barbeau sisters, maybe some people coming into the season saying, all right, St. Mary's, they're going to be incredible this year, but after this year, they're going to fall off a little. And then he knows, hey, I got 3 more years of Kayla Solomon.
Well, one of his goals this year was to get the freshmen into the rotation, get them playing time right away. And so next year they'll be all set to go.
Shot fired up with the shot clock. Or actually, no, there's plenty of time on the shot clock. Just a quick shot that time for Azzarelli.
You know, one thing about Kevin White, he's been a gentleman this afternoon. He's been sitting in that 2-3 zone. He didn't press since the second quarter. You know, he had a substantial lead and just did it the right way.
And we've seen that on this court back-to-back nights. I mean, yesterday we had in the public school side of things, Floral Park was getting blown out by Locust Valley, and you saw Steven Los Cicero just kind of pull off with 5 minutes left. Both teams took their players out. They wanted to make sure there were no injuries before the championship round, and kind of almost a gentleman's agreement to do not the same in that the best players for both teams are still in. Excuse me, it was Lynbrook last night here. But sort of a similar style in that both coaches showing a clear respect for one another, neither side wanting to embarrass the other. I mean, Jim, to your point, what the score is what the score is, but it's not because of the way this game's being coached.
You know, they've known each other for 30 years, these two coaches. They have a lot of respect for each other. right now, St. Mary's got more talent. And not knocking St. Anthony's, but St. Mary's is just a step above the rest of the league.
Yeah, within a year of each other in terms of their high school catches, Huey Flaherty graduating from Center Reach High School in 1974. Kevin White graduating from Holy Cross High School in 1975, to your point, went on to a career at Fordham, was an AAU and CYO coach for 35 years up until 2010 before taking over at Mary Lewis Academy, and then, of course, this great run here at St. Mary's. Getting her feet set and cashing in the three. Tiana Thompson, another freshman. So, in between her and Sky Priester and Kayla Solomon, you've seen the future of this St. Mary's backcourt is pretty good post the Barbeau sisters.
Yeah, she looked real smooth on that three.
Ashley Wetzel also into the game for St. Anthony's. Inside-outside game and an open tray. Goes down for Licciardi, her third.
Now, you mentioned it earlier that one of the reasons the Mary scoring totals individually are so down when it could be is because with the big leads, Coach White chooses to lay his backups, which is the right thing to do.
Yeah, it seems like both Barbeau sisters done for the night. As you see the little blow-by that time for Priester.
10th grader. And they're all guards on the court. Solomon's the biggest girl on the court right now for St. Mary's. 5 guards playing a 2-3 zone.
It feels like they have a replacement for the Barbeau sisters, and they're going to have to find their next Kayla Williams.
Yes.
That time, Cubera, also a freshman, left it short from distance. No, also Solomon, 5'7" as a freshman. I mean, you got to imagine next few years she's going to get up to 5'10", 5'11", maybe even 6 feet. Battling for space is Green, drowning in a sea of white jerseys and losing the basketball to Priester. A timeout taken by Kevin White. Doesn't actually want the timeout, just wants the substitution. Kayla Williams comes back in, and I think Kayla Solomon's night is done. And part of that, to prevent a potential injury, part of that, to your point, is about respect.
Yes. And they got games coming up, so why risk that injury possibility?
We'll be playing in the Catholic State Championship game this weekend. They win that one, they'll move on to the Federation Championship. Long Island Lutheran, considered by some at points this year the #1 team in the country, already qualified for that.
How do you see that matchup, Gavin?
Oh, man, you know, Lehigh's just size, physicality, I think you have to give them the edge, but St. Mary's has not been blown out this year, right? All their losses have come right down to the buzzer. And watching this team, there's just a certain faith in the Barbeau sisters to figure things out. But yeah, I don't know. I would say Lehigh has to be the favorite if that is the matchup. I mean, how do you see that one potentially going?
Well, I've been very impressed by St. Mary's, and to be honest with you, the only thing in my mind that would stop them from going all the way is playing against a bigger, stronger team where the perimeter game isn't as dominant, where the post game is, and that way give them some trouble. Now, how do you counteract that? You go out and press it. You try to make it a transition game. If it's a slow-down game and the ball goes inside, they might have some trouble.
Second free throw rattles home for Ashley Wetzel. Flaherty thought the bigger court here at Hofstra might give his side a better chance. It ended up just providing a better runway for St. Mary's to play their brand of transition ball.
More space for their quickness offensively.
And longer closeouts, right? I mean, when you're trying to get to a Kayla Solomon, and that just opens up these big gaps in a defense.
Well, Mary's jumped over that 10-0 lead. Anthony's didn't finish on the early possessions. You know, you always go what if, but maybe if Friars had made a couple of early baskets, it would have been a much more competitive game.
Our nightcap.
It's hard to find a weakness in St. Mary's game tonight.
Our nightcap should be a good one as we switch to the boys' side of things. Chaminade, the top seed, taking on the St. Anthony's Friars on the boys' side. Chaminade winning both regular season matchups, but with KJ Duff really emerging for St. Anthony's these last few weeks, the football star. That'll be a different element, and we're going to see if Chaminade, known for their shooting, has the toughness in the interior play to deal with Duff and Caleb Barulian.
You know, Chaminade has a senior-dominated roster. Sal Logano's team at St. Anthony's is younger. Their backcourt is a freshman and a sophomore. I was very impressed how they poised they had down the stretch in their victory against St. John the Baptist on Sunday. So it should be a good one.
Hugh Flaherty still coaching. And the running floater put in by Cubera.
St. Anthony's isn't finished, correct, Gavin?
Oh, yeah, so they'll have a Class A championship appearance against Our Lady of Mercy in a rematch of the semifinals. It's a double elimination format, so St. Anthony's, they're out of the running for an AA title, but still in the mix for an A championship.
That's why the first game you called today was so important, because they defeated Sacred Heart.
And it's going to be a tall task for St. Anthony's, right, to beat a team as good as Our Lady of Mercy and a player as good as Megan Anderson twice in about a week's time.
They were able to find a way to do it on Sunday, so got to regroup if you're Coach Flaherty's team and get ready for your next opponent.
Inside-outside passing. St. Anthony's taking their time offensively. As Hugh Flaherty emptied the bench, losing the ball that time, Mia Cotolo. And the Gales will likely just dribble this clock out. A dominant wire-to-wire victory over St. Anthony's. And the St. Mary's Gales, for the second straight year, are the champions of the Nassau-Suffolk Catholic League. But they have bigger fish to fry. The defending state champs will look to repeat. And this year, Jim, a New York Federation title available to the Gales. And you got to imagine Kevin White, with arguably the best team he's had at St. Mary's, wants to take the crown.
Yeah, not their fault last year they couldn't play it. It wasn't a Federation tournament. That's where they might see Long Island Lutheran, as we talked about earlier, or possibly a South Shore out of New York City.
St. Mary's, the third-ranked team in the state. South Shore second. Lehigh first. We'll see if the Gales get a shot to prove those rankings wrong, as we'll step aside for the moment and come back for the trophy presentation here on the Varsity Media Sports Network and a post-game interview.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people, all people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Let me get a point, though. You know.
And we're back here at Hofstra. Trophies about to be handed out. We get a look. That's a whole lot of hardware for the St. Mary's Gales as they go back-to-back as CHSAA champions, Jim. I want to know who to talk to about shortening that acronym. It is a mouthful and a terror for broadcasters all around every single time.
I coached the league way back when in 1980 with the late great Frank Morris over at St. Agnes. One of the players was a guy named Billy Donovan. Now the coach of the Chicago Bulls.
Doing pretty good for himself. 2 national championships with the Florida Gators as well. Learning from Rick Pitino. And St. Mary's. I mean, this game just never a contest. The Gales jumped early. And you were saying, Jim, the only thing that could possibly limit them is their size, because this is a team that's so skilled and plays so together for one another.
All quick perimeter players. And all put it on the floor, especially Taylor Barbeau.
What did you see from her today?
Just a complete dominant player as far as her ball handling skills. Plays with complete confidence, keeps her head up every time she dribbles. Has a whole assortment of dribbles, in and out. Knows how to create space, change pace, and a great passer. Transitioner, passes her right on a dime, just like a quarterback in football.
And I think part of what makes her so good is that she is such a willing passer, right?
Yes.
It seems like she loves to pass the basketball. Maybe like you hear from some players, like I get more joy. I mean, we've always heard this from LeBron James, right, on the men's side of things, that he gets more joy from an assist than from a bucket. I think that's very much true for both the Barbeau sisters.
And especially a team like this who all share the ball. There's no egos involved. I think they're all together. They want to get this state federation title, and they're going to play hard, and they're going to play well, and be the word team. They definitely define the word team. Winning breeds that. When you're successful and you're used to being successful, you're going to play with a lot of confidence, and your teammates are going to respect each other.
And man, we just heard her name, Kayla Solomon, 27 points. I mean, what more can you say about her performance?
It's amazing. She's just a freshman. Amazing the range she has. I'm curious how many shots she spends a day in the gym.
5'7" as a freshman too. I mean, you can imagine she ends up 6'1" potentially down the road. Maybe that's a lofty growth projection, but certainly a Division I talent, even if she doesn't grow much from now.
She might be even higher than a mid-major. I mean, the Barbeaus are going to a mid-major level. They're going to Charleston and in the Hofstra League and the Colonial League. Good basketball, but it's not like the UConn and South Carolina level. And Solomon being just a freshman, she improves every year. Maybe that would be her level down the road.
And of course, I mean, this program, I mean, not unfamiliar to Power 5 talent with Kadasha Berry heading to St. John's, a former top 50 recruit in the country, and it'd be interesting if Kevin White some truth serum and say, hey, I mean, is Kayla Solomon the best you've had so far? And I mean, who knows what he might tell you.
They're giving out awards for the season right now.
We got to look at, of course, Anderson of Our Lady of Mercy, and she's probably fired up.
She'll be going to Fairfield next year, playing for the Stags.
Excited to get another shot at St. Anthony's.
Yes.
All right, so we'll step aside for just a second. We'll come back with our post-game interview next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403.
We're joined by Taryn Barbeau here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, our player of the game. Taryn, an incredible performance, and you guys have just this incredible chemistry on the court. Obviously, not just you and your sister, but the entire team. How has that developed over the last few years?
First of all, last year we all came back. We came back with like most of the team last year, so the chemistry was still good. And then we got like the freshmen and like the transfers. We got them into like our system, and like we built a chemistry from there.
The thing I like about it is how you turn your defense into offense real quick. The transition game is really good.
Yep, our defense, if you play good defense, it translates to our offense.
All right, and tell us a little about Kayla Solomon. I mean, she was incredible today, 27 points, and I'm sure you've been mentoring her throughout the year. And I know head coach Kevin White was saying during the week, I mean, that's kind of the biggest area of improvement for you guys. Your freshmen have gotten up to speed, and it was apparent today with Solomon.
Yeah, if she's hot, we just feed her the ball, keep shooting threes. That's basically it.
All right, pretty simple. Congratulations on the championship. I mean, what's the game plan for you guys going forward? Just getting ready for that state title game?
Yep, we're getting ready for Catholic States, and after that, Federations.
All right, I love the confidence. Taylor Barbeau, thank you so much for the time. And we'll see you guys in the championship game next time out.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I knew it was Taryn. And we'll wrap it up here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And we'll take a break and be back for our championship game on the boys' side of things. A big thanks to executive producer Ben Turchin, technical director Chris Sweeney, Gavin Shaw, for my partner Jim Peatman, and our entire team here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.